the studios of ITN The News with Anya Sitaram.
Good evening, welcome to the programme. The headlines: the new plan to crack down on benefits cheats, snoop on your neighbours. Why one of Britain's Olympic winners won't be bringing home a medal after all. And hundreds wish the Queen Mother a happy 96th birthday. A new government crackdown on benefit fraud is tonight under fierce attack, branded a snooper's charter by opposition MPs and charities. The scheme will urge people to report friends and neighbours they suspect of swindling the system, using a special telephone hotline that will take anonymous tip-offs. The Social Security Secretary, Peter Lilly, will officially launch it tomorrow. John Ray reports.
Another call to the hotline. Details of another suspected benefit cheat handed over. In pilot areas, the scheme's already saved £15 million. Tomorrow, it goes nationwide. Peter Lilly's latest crackdown on Britain's £3 billion fraud bill, easing Treasury pressures on his department's budget. Ministers brush aside accusations that it's a snooper's charter that could provoke malicious calls.
We've found a huge response from the public, often from genuine benefit claimants who ring in saying, look, I'm not finding it easy to manage, but I really resent people who are ripping the system off and being so brazen about it.
But critics attack the government's priorities, pointing to the closure of a helpline for genuine claimants.
Very many people need money desperately, but are not going to have the information that they need in order to claim the benefit. Meanwhile, they may fear being snooped upon and being branded benefit scroungers.
In London, inspectors investigate housing benefit fraud. Opposition parties say £1 billion could be saved by targeting unscrupulous landlords.
Housing benefit.
But with the government also expected to announce a big increase in savings from fraud, ministers insist they are winning the war against bogus benefit claims. John Ray, ITN.
It emerged today that the government spent £450 million taking advice about rail privatisation. The money went to lawyers, accountants and various consultants in the run-up to the sell-off. Here's Adrian Britton.
The millions have been spent priming the railways for privatisation. According to Labour, a scandalous waste of public money. In the last 3 years, British Rail has spent £278 million in consultancy fees. The Department of Transport and government rail bodies have paid out £97 million, Railtrack £78 million. That's a total of £453 million, about £18 per taxpayer.
Yet again, the government is using taxpayers' money not to improve our railways, not to lay new tracks or buy new coaches or to improve signalling, but to line the pockets of consultants and lawyers.
But the former Transport Minister, who handled the sale of Railtrack, says the money is a fraction of the income earned from privatisation.
Our view is that the costs shared between the Department of Transport, Railtrack and British Rail itself are extremely good value, and what we've got out of it is not only more than £4 billion back for the taxpayer, but we've actually got a much lower cost railway for the future. It's money very well spent.
Yet the issue is not just how much money has been spent, but where the money has gone. Many millions have been paid to consultancy firms considered Tory-friendly, companies which have donated large amounts of cash to the Conservative Party. Adrian Britton, ITN, Westminster.
Tributes are being paid tonight to the television presenter and gardener Jeff Hamilton, who's died after collapsing during a charity cycle race. He presented BBC Two Gardener's World since 1979. He was 59. The man in charge of the Olympics has said the Atlanta Games could have been better. One Antonius Samaranch criticised the organisational disaster at the start, but with only hours to go to the closing ceremony, he said the Games as a whole have been good. Terry Lloyd examines what went wrong.
The 16-day sporting pageant was billed as the best ever. More colour, more sports, more athletes and more spectators. Years of planning had gone into the organisation, the transport facilities, accommodation and security. But the compliments soon turned to complaints. Atlanta was described as a huge street market and the Olympics were labelled a tacky commercial circus. The IOC president is reported as saying it could have been better and that he would not support a privately funded Olympics again. Even the police joined in the huge advertising hype. There were major transport problems resulting in spectators fighting for rail and road space. Even competitors changed accommodation, fearing they would miss events. The president, who deliberately left out any reference to this being the best ever games, pinpointed transport as the worst organisational disaster.
At the beginning, as you know, we had some problems at the arrival of the teams, the transportation, technological problems that you suffer, the mass media. But bit by bit, things were controlled.
He did not mention the explosion, but Atlanta 96 will go down in Olympic history as the year of the bomb. It directly killed one person and literally added to the grief. Terry Lloyd, ITN.
British swimmer Nick Gillingham learned tonight he won't get the bronze medal he thought he'd won. The Russian swimmer, who finished ahead, has won his appeal against a drugs test. Top of the medals table is the United States, with 43 goals, way ahead of Russia and Germany. Britain is in 36th place between Ethiopia and Belarus. From Atlanta, here's Graham Miller.
If they awarded gold for team spirit, the British relay squad would be first in line. They gave their all in the 4x400, and tonight they couldn't have been more proud of their silver. Twice they led, but by the last, Roger Black had just too much to do. He kicked for home, but just missed out.
To be that close to Olympic gold. Slightly frustrating, but in the end, you know, four guys who are very happy, did Britain proud, went for it, and I think people know we went for it. And yeah, we were running for gold last night, not silver.
Steve Backley was celebrating just for taking part. Only a few weeks ago, he had a foot operation. To win silver with his first throw was impressive.
It was a very tight schedule to get back in shape. I got back in shape, and then it was a matter of performing optimally on the day. And I think I did that. So yeah, couldn't be happier.
Terrible luck though for Nick Gillingham on the rise with teammate James Hickman. He won't be getting his bronze medal after all. The drugs arbitration panel reinstated swimmer Andrea Korneev, saying there wasn't enough evidence to disqualify the Russian. With only the closing ceremony to come, British eyes have been looking at the medals table. Our record of 1 gold is the worst since Helsinki in 1952, and our overall total the worst for 20 years. These have been a disappointing Olympics for Britain. Graham Miller, ITN Sport, in Atlanta.
The Queen Mother is celebrating her 96th birthday with her family at Sandringham. This morning, hundreds of well-wishers greeted her as she went to church. Here's our royal correspondent, Nicholas Owen.
A smart horse-drawn carriage for a rather unusual birthday celebration for the Queen Mother. This year, accompanied by the Queen, she's at Sandringham rather than Clarence House in London, and the two of them went to morning service at the church on the royal estate, at the end of which the organist provided the tune suitable for the occasion. Little Alice Tiffany, with a small birthday cake, was in a long line of children who presented gifts to the Queen Mother. The benefits of her hip replacement last winter very evident. After the children, a group of Toastmasters bearing champagne, though she didn't quite partake herself. Then, with just a touch of help from her walking stick, the Queen Mother insisted on meeting many of the crowd of more than 1,000 who waited in the Norfolk sunshine to see her. Finally, the golf buggy that's helped keep the Queen Mum mobile recently was called upon. All agreed, though, that for a 96-year-old, the Queen Mother's in remarkably fine fettle.
Good morning. Happy birthday.
Nicholas Owen, ITN, Sandringham.
That's it from the weekend team. From all of us, good night.